I usually don't do business book. However, I do like business book more than I do all the other stuff because it's the stuff that say right here. All right, this is one of my favorite books of all time, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. He's a billionaire, and Mark Cuban's a billionaire. That's just me though. I like business books more than I do because they say some awesome shit, man. Anyway, so this is book. I'm not talking about business for the because this is a business book, obviously. But what Mark Cuban has to say about when you're young, right? When you're 21, but whether you're 20, for me, because I have a lot of older folks on my YouTube channel, whether you're young or old, because I do have young and old. Whether you're young and old, you should try at least something. In this book, that's why I always be testing on my YouTube channel whether my audience like it or not, whether I fail or not, because it's when you hit, because oftentimes when people have lots of subscribers, they start to lose themselves. I don't want it to be a person who lose myself in the process of who I am, what I value, because you can change, but I don't want to lose myself to the audience, what they want, and like you're always gonna give them what they want, of course, right? But in that, most people don't know what they want until you deliver something new into the marketplace. Because who say that free enterprise? I was listening to something and they were talking about how there's a free market. The market get to decide how valuable you are. The thing is, most school doesn't teach about the free market. Anyway, Mark Cuban is a billionaire, and if you don't know who Mark Cuban is, he was on Tai Lopez interview. Tai Lopez interviewed Mark Cuban, and all these billionaires do read. I like people who do read. I kind of gravitate toward that, but I still like Gary Vee. He doesn't read, but he's an entrepreneur and he's very successful. There are some people who don't read and are very successful, but I think that I think in this conversation it keeps coming up. You have to know who you are as a person, right? Robert Kiyosaki said or Brian Rose, when he interviewed Robert Kiyosaki, he said you should go to school either when you're young. You should go to school to experience, and you should start questioning about school and stuff. I think that as a parent, you should let your kid go to school to experience and then life, right? The friends that they will have, the friends who they'll meet, it will change them as the person. Like, for example, if I didn't go to boarding school, I wouldn't experience the friends that I would have met. So I think the experience changed you as a person, and it will change the things that you will track. But all these things are there. They're there. All these people young, they should go on that journey, because it is who they will become in the future that will affect them the most. That's the lesson that I learned over the years, is you have to let people do their thing, because oftentimes it's what they needed at that time. I noticed that you can't force people to be someone you're not. You can't force, like, for example, I'm not against vegans, but oftentimes vegans are against meat. It doesn't matter. You have to let people live their life the way that they're meant. And oftentimes when I was younger, I didn't understand that, because when you're younger, you don't often understand the choices that people make. People are not us. People are not you. And oftentimes we try to control their circumstances, but you have to let them be them, right? But they have to know themselves first. That's all I see in this video. I mean, my journey. And okay, so Mark Cuban in this book say, my response is, you're still in school. You don't need to have all the answer or focus on one thing. You should try a lot of things until you find the one thing you really love to do and are good at. When that happen, you will be able to focus. Being focused 21 is way overrated. Now is the time to screw up, to try as many different things as you can, and just maybe figure out things out. The thing you need to learn is learning accounting, learn finance, learn statistics, learn as much as you can about business, read biography about business people. You don't have to focus on one thing, but you have to create a base of knowledge so you are ready when it's time. You never know when that time will come, but you can be ready when it does. You never know. You might end up in the venture business. So I remember one time when I was working at Sakura, Japanese restaurant. My manager is always thinking, "Oh, Johnny, why you know, when you're not he always tell me like you should do something crazy, or you should do something that at like an older age you won't get to do that." But there's the difference between doing stupid things so you can learn from it. You should do things that the universe or whatever is on your journey. I think every journey, it's not a destination that people should be. It's a journey, a process that is unfolding for you, right? I think that's oftentimes we miss out. We're trying to reach out for the destination. Gary Vee and Evan Carmichael always say it's about the process, the adventure that you will have. Oftentimes we feel like we have to, this thing. And but he didn't understand. I tried many things. I guess I didn't tell him the whole story, but I tried stupid all the time in boarding school. I do dumb things, I do dumb things all the time. Like most Asian people. Some Asian people are crazy, right? Some Asian people are not. It's because some say they're sheltered. It's not that because they're sheltered. It's that they haven't given the skill set or like exposure to things. I think that what Mark Cuban said, you have to get exposure to things when you're young. But whether you're young or old, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Like when you're old, you still need, because sometimes when we're old, we are bondaged by our habits, our ideas, and our experiences. So what happens is that could become the chain of our life. So we need new exposure to our mind to open up a new level. Now, I'm not always great at this, I admit, but at least I try. People are like, trying isn't that good enough. I think